Good morning, grade 12s. It's Mr. Van here, and I wanted to make a quick video because I'm getting lots of questions around transcripts and self-reporting, specifically self-reporting, and I thought it might be helpful to just give you a little overview of what you can kind of expect, what to keep in mind, things that we notice people make little mistakes on, and how it's totally fine to handle that. So, and also post my little kind of 8 notes here as well with the YouTube video so that you have that. The first one is this is a great time to be doing applications if you are doing them now. Some of the schools like Langara, and to some extent CapU, and to some extent BCIT are first come, first qualified, first in. So applying early can be really great, and I would encourage you to do that. It's also a great time to be thinking about applying. You can ask your parents, check the website, and notice that the virtual fair is happening today, this afternoon, December 1st. Part 2 of it is today. It's 2 to 6, I believe. And you can look up the post-secondary BC Fair, and you'll find it, BC Virtual Fair, and you'll find it. It's also a point now at December 1st where we are seeing the start of the first round of applications close. So don't worry if you didn't do that. The only real advantage to that is being able to be considered for scholarships from those universities specifically, and also for potentially knowing sooner, which I suppose can lower anxiety. So that can be really valuable, but there's no disadvantage to applying later. The same number of spots for the entire year are still going to be available. And people who don't make it through in this round with the early admission can still very likely win on the second round. Your odds don't go down. So it's fine either way, don't panic. Next thing I would say is hopefully you've seen in the post-secondary channel of our Student Hub the video I've made about, and this goes back from the summer, so I think most students do have this now, but the BCeID student transcript, you want to make sure you have that signed up and ready to go, so that when you are applying, you are able to give those universities and colleges your marks. You can give them access, and there is a video, so go to the post-secondary channel in the Student Hub, check under files, and look for the big one I put at the top for BCeID student transcripts. Next thing is I really want to just remind people that if you were pushing deadlines for trying to get early applications in and things, and you haven't, don't just push it off now till the actual official deadline that universities are using. It's better to give yourself time, especially if you're applying to somewhere like UBC where you're going to have these profile questions. I know a lot of students I've been talking with have been saying they wanted to have 3, 4, 5, 6, even a week to 7 days to look these over and check them with someone at home, run them by me if you come by on a post-secondary power hour. We'll talk about that in a minute. So make sure you give yourself time for all the applications, and they do take a little bit of time. So some are faster than others, but give yourself a bit of time. Next thing is if you are needing to report grades. So BCIT, Langara, and a few others, they are often going to ask you for transcripts right away. And in fact, actually UBC, UVic, SFU, and the like will as well. Their timelines are just a little bit different, but you want to be ready to pull that transcript from your student transcripts BCeID. You also may get asked to show evidence of courses you're taking. They may say, hey, can you report them, and just self-report them and you'll write them in, but they may also say they want to document. And the thing that gives that the best is called the diploma verification. And that's something I can easily run for you. All you got to do is just email me. You can always find the email or go to mrvan.org. And my email, I'm happy to send you that report. Just make sure you give me at least a day. When you're self-reporting, because we're seeing a lot of people now doing this, couple things to keep in mind. The most important deadline for pretty much all post-secondaries at the research university level. So again, that's our UBC, SFU, UVic, and outside of province universities as well. But check them carefully, but generally the date is March 15th. And this date actually comes from years and years of them doing this, and it's from before COVID, and they choose this date because it's right after the second term in a normal year comes out. So in our normal 3 reporting periods, term 1, term 2, term 3 that you guys had in grade 8, 9, 10, 11, though that was the date that they could guarantee getting reliable 2/3 through the course information. And they've kept that date even though we're on quarterly now. So March 15th means that you'll have a completed quarter 1, you'll have a completed quarter 2, and you will have just got, right before spring break, an interim for your quarter 3. You won't be able to, of course, report anything on quarter 4 marks, and I will remind everybody that you should only ever report something that you have got on paper. So a mark from a teacher is not really good. You want to use something, I mean, it's nice to have, but it's really not what you want to self-report. It needs to be something that they will be able to see on your transcript later. So please only ever self-report things that are complete or things that you have an official interim mark. So the next interim mark is going to be for Q2 is going to be right before the holiday break. And then you'll have the finals right at the start of February. And then at the midpoint in March, just before the self-reporting period, you will get the Q3 interim. Also, it's always good if you have a course that's really key, like English 12 in Q4, self-report your English 11 mark, and where you can, make a note saying English 12 in Q4. Because you're giving them documentation, or perhaps you've asked me to give a diploma verification, I will be able to give you that piece of paper that'll show that you have it coming, because it says the course date that you'll be finishing. So it would say English 12, June 2021. So that'll be your evidence. As we've talked about before, they'll use your grade 11s where the grade 12 isn't yet available, and nobody is punished for this, so do not worry. You can self-report more than once for pretty much every university. I don't want to confirm that because I don't know every university, but I haven't come across any yet that have said that you can't. So that means you could give marks now for Q1 final. You could update them over the holiday break. You could re-self-report once you get your February marks for Q2, and you can self-report again one last time right when you get your interim before the break for spring break. So more is better. It gives them more opportunities. The majority of applicants get accepted at a couple specific periods of the year, but it doesn't mean they won't make offers at other points. So it's great to keep that updated, and it shouldn't take you too long to update that. If when you have set up your application, you at all forgot to include a school that you went to, a common one would be like if you went to VLN or SIDES or NIDES or one of the online schools, just send them an email, either from the email that you got when you first made your account and you paid them the money, or if you go to the bottom of the login site, once you're on that school, there's often a contact us page and you're looking for like admissions. With a couple exceptions, almost every school uses admissions at, and then whatever that is, like at UBC, at SFU, etc. So you want to send them a message, give them your student number and say, hey, I forgot to report this. Can you please add it or open it up so that I can add this? It's good to just give more information and be as accurate as possible. These applications are read by human beings. Numbers are crunched by computers, but they're read by human beings, and they are reasonable human beings, especially in a COVID year. It's totally fine to be like, whoops, made a little mistake. Can you add this on? Better to give more information than less. And then if you're doing an out-of-province application, just a reminder that they'll often ask for paper copies mailed or electronic copies of the diploma verifications, the school transcripts. They just kind of make you jump through a couple more hoops when you're out of province. So keep that in mind. And please remember, if you have any questions, just email me or stop by. We're here to help, here to lower the stress. And last but not least, probably the best way to get that extra help is to come by for the Power Hour, post-secondary Power Hour, Tuesdays, 11:30 to 12:30 in the counseling suite. We've been averaging probably 4 to 5 students per Tuesday, and we're getting a good mix of students, and people are asking great questions, and I think people are feeling good about it after they leave. I haven't done a survey or anything, but I think they're feeling good about it. So we want to keep that up, and we want to keep supporting all of you. So have a great day. Good luck with those applications. Stay in touch. Take a deep breath. Cheers.